When do you know you're in serious trouble? It's a good question regarding alcohol, isn't it? Because I knew I was in trouble in my 20s. I knew I was drinking more than most people. But serious trouble when I was a bit older, because the body wears down. And if you're battering it with alcohol all the time, it's bound to, isn't it? And I drank regularly was my problem. Not binging, just regularly. And that's what causes cirrhosis. In fact, your liver never gets a break. Even if you're just having a couple of drinks, it never got a 24-hour period. Very rarely. Without some sort of alcohol being in there. Like I said before, didn't drink spirits or wine. It was all just lager. It doesn't make any difference. And I realised in my 30s, it started to sort of wear me down. Life was wearing me down. And my hangovers went from hangover to withdrawal. I didn't realise what was happening, to be honest. And then I was a little bit older, I tried to stop suddenly and I had a seizure. And then I knew I was in big trouble then. And I came off for a little while, but I still went back on it. The power of addiction, you see. The power of addiction is incredibly strong. And if you haven't been an alcoholic, and you're not a very heavy drinker, then you won't understand. Unfortunately, you just do not understand how an alcoholic feels about it all, and how devastating it is when alcohol's been part of your life and you're told you can't have any more. So I came on and off a couple of times, and as soon as I went back on again, I was back in trouble again. Now, it doesn't matter how many times you try and do this, if you have an alcohol problem, then you will relapse back into what you were, and probably beyond that, because your body, once it's detoxified, there's a big shock when you drink again. So I had 8 years off and I started again 2014. Within 7 days of starting again, after 8 years sober, I was back on it full time. I couldn't get any alcohol. I couldn't get any help from the doctors regarding the alcohol. Unfortunately, they wouldn't give me any more diazepam, and I believe it's still difficult to get somebody to come off it. I didn't think about going to hospital at the time. I just kept drinking to self-medicate, which is the worst thing in the world to do. So there I was, stuck in a flat, completely alone, apart from, well, my parents tried to help me. My daughter tried to help me, but I couldn't even help myself. You've got to try and help yourself. And then I started to get symptoms, which was the ascites fluid. Before I had that, I felt malnourished. I lost a lot of weight, you know, and I used to feel very anxious. I used to be very confident. I am confident now because I'm sober. I was a very strong-minded person. And alcohol affects every part of your being. Your confidence, your money, your relationships, your health, just everything. It's not just your liver it affects your kidneys, it can affect your blood pressure, it affects your heart, obviously. It affects your pancreas, it's linked to a lot of cancers, it's just linked to everything bad. And basically, what happens is that you become desensitized to life, really, and all that matters to you is getting the next drink. And if you can't get the next drink, you panic. And this turns into a cycle of anxiety, and that's what happened to me between 2014 and 2019. I couldn't cope with life. I couldn't cope with anything. I didn't exist, really. Well, I existed at the bottom level. I used to keep breathing, that was about it. I couldn't eat. Every time I took a drink of tea or something, I'd regurgitate. Even a drink of alcohol, a drink of lager in the morning, I used to be sick. Coughing up blood, coughing up yellow bile, all this sort of thing. This huge stomach with ascites fluid. I just felt terrible. I was so ill I couldn't get the doctors. I was too frightened to leave the house at times. And I was a shadow of my former self, to be fair. And that's when I knew I was in serious trouble. But I still didn't get help. I should have gone to the hospital earlier. It wasn't until a friend of mine said, you better get to the hospital. If you don't get to the hospital, I'll take you. And the next day I rang 999. I had a couple of cans of beer first, because I didn't have the bottle to go to the hospital. So I knew in my own mind I was really seriously ill. But I didn't want to hear the devastating news that I heard a couple of days later after I'd been admitted. And that was that I had liver damage, serious liver damage. Not just a little bit of fibrosis, it was decompensated liver cirrhosis. How I'm here today, God only knows, but I did stop drinking after that. And I was in serious trouble in hospital for 2 years with all sorts of complications. And I knew a long time prior to 2019 that I was going to have alcohol problems, but I still couldn't do anything about it. And I didn't really want to do anything about it at the time, to be fair. I was warned by the doctors, and well, when I was about 30, cut down, stop, do whatever you can, get your life in order. But the power of this addiction, the buzz that I wanted, the chasing the first drink again, the feeling of wellness, of relaxation, being able to just drop off to sleep. That's all these sort of things I was chasing again. The fun element, and there was no fun element left. And this is the problem a lot of people have when they go on relapse. They have this fear of missing out. Where's the fun gone? I can't live my life without an alcoholic drink. I can't relax. You've got to learn to relax because it will kill you. It's killed a lot of my friends, alcohol. It kills people every single day. It disables people. It causes most of the social issues we have today. A lot of domestics are linked to alcohol. Even things like child abuse and all this sort of thing. It's all linked, and people have no money left. They go, when they drink, they tend to have a bet and they gamble more and lose your inhibitions. You become stupid, you become foolish, you send people the wrong messages, you dabble in all sorts of things you shouldn't do, and your life becomes a mess. And it's just long, painful death, you know. I've seen people die of it, and they turn yellow. Their eyes are yellow, their skin's yellow, lose their teeth, lose their hair. I lost most of my hair when I was heavily drinking. It's all come back now. It's amazing, isn't it? How it affects your whole being. It weaves itself into every fibre of your life. And it's so available and so normalised by society. You're actually seen as unusual if you don't drink. And people will ask, why don't you drink? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Why do people say that? What's wrong with you? There's nothing wrong with me. I just don't drink because it doesn't like me. And I don't like it anymore. And you've got to be strong with people. The reason I relapsed after the 8-year period because I was frightened to tell the woman I was with that I was an alcoholic. Now I'm quite proud to say I've got alcohol issues and I beat it. And I'm in the minority. Think of yourself as special if you can beat this. It's a tough one to beat. And it's a big battle. And if you win it, you've done very well for yourself and for your family. Because when you're sober, everything will improve and your life will become 100% better, 1,000% better. You won't recognise yourself. Other people won't recognise you if they haven't seen you for a few years. They'll go, wow, you're looking well. That's what people say to me now, compared to what I was a few years ago. I was pasty, I was thin, I was weak, and I was a mess. You get yourself pulled together. You can do it. If I could do it, then you can do it. Because I was really at the bottom, and I'm here to help you. I'll put a link to my support and mentoring service in the video. I've got an ebook out as well. It's only $5.99. It's the price of a drink. It's a good reference book, a document to look at when you're feeling a bit down maybe, and a bit like, we're going to have a drink to pick you up again, because the first one may kill you. Remember that. If you benefit from the channel, then please subscribe and share it, and I'll speak to you all very soon.